3, 2, 1.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Fantasy Jesus. I'm here to save your fantasy roster. Fantasy Jesus. It worked for The Rock and it's going to work for me.
Yeah. TSS Fantasy. Yeah. TSS Fantasy.
And you just got flandered.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
And you just got flandered.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. He's on mute.
Oh! Yeah! Let's do it!
Okay, that was the best. Yeah.
Oh, way to start a show.
I love it. False start on the offense, to say the least. Let's get things started. We're in Kansas City. So
Red,
some
baby.
exciting football players, exciting team to talk about. Exciting city indeed. Let's get things started with the introductions.
Someone's not wearing red.
That is one of these things is not like the other. I was gonna get like when I got to them, I was gonna get that. But let's point them out. Let's start. Nick, one of these things is not like the other. Flanders Hernandez, welcome to the studio.
Did you just almost call me Hernandez?
I did almost call you Hernandez. It was like a mic. You pulled a mic tonight almost.
Well, that's because Flanders is not a Chiefs fan, but I am an Arrowhead. As you can see, I'm holding a red pen. I hope that counts. So, yeah. So, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I thought it'd be different and wear a blue shirt.
You are a blue dot in a sea of red, my friend.
All good. All good,
That's
Nick.
all right.
Figure we have fun calling you out like we normally do. Also, let's welcome into the studio Justin Jesus Herrera.
Yeah, so I went a little bit specialty this time. I got my Snowy Joey jersey on. It might not be the right color red because, you can't beat this color red. But Snowy Joey was on loan to the Chiefs for a couple seasons, and I respect the hell out of that and what he did there.
All right. Well, at least some of us got the memo tonight because we're celebrating Kansas City. Welcome into the studio, Fred the Jester Reyes.
Listen, I am truly, truly excited for tonight. This is one of my favorite teams in the NFL. Let's go. I'm ready.
Lots of fun to talk about tonight. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Why? Well, you'll get all of our great content, obviously, but also we have a contest. Leroy, as I was just corrected earlier, it's not Leroy. Leroy Butler blessed us with a jersey, a Hall of Fame jersey, when he came to our studio. We are giving it away to you. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button. It's that easy. Hit subscribe. We're giving it away Hall of Fame weekend. So you want to check us out then. Hit the subscribe button. It really takes 2 seconds. No big deal. You get entered to win. Easy peasy. Breezy. TSSFantasy.com. Hit that up as well. You'll see our roundtable there. Our roundtable. Nick didn't do the plug tonight, so I have to do it all by myself. Greg OJ, the Juice is Loose Mayor. All of his great material is on there, his rankings. He's got all this great insider stuff, and we're going to have some great shows in there as well. So you want to check that out. Also, we're doing the show on your fantasy league, so that's also a great time. Take your fantasy league to the next level. Go to TSSFantasy.com. We'll show you how. Also, we're getting close. It's getting closer. As the summer vacation's winding down, training camp's beginning. And ladies and gentlemen, you want to get on Underdog Fantasy. Get the promo code TSS. we're going to double that deposit up to $100. And again, lots of great contests this year. We're going to include Dolphin tickets, Dolphin home game experiences with TSS. We'll have Gatorland tickets as well. All kind of great stuff. I mean, you just can't beat it. Nick, why do we do this?
Because we can, damn it. And Justin, why else?
Well, I mean, Nick, it's obvious because we are the fantasy show of the people.
The people, indeed, because he's still on mute tonight.
The deaf people, apparently.
Hey, I just moved my lips. The people.
Oh, the fantasy
Nothing against
show,
deaf people.
the fantasy show, the people, indeed, with all types of muting issues tonight.
Okay, Nick, they can't hear you.
Dr. Miller is here in KC. Let's get it started with
We're
the
getting
house
canceled.
call.
We're getting canceled.
Look, I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Spock, give me a hand.
The doctor is in, and I hope he's in the mood for some barbecue because we are in the great state of Kansas and Kansas City. Love this state, love the town. Love the city, love the atmosphere Arrowhead brings. Let's welcome into the studio Dr. Jeffrey Miller.
So good to be here. Coming up tonight on the house call, we're going to add to the percent to the bench a percent to the IR.
Ooh, wow, that's a new one. I wasn't expecting that. All right, well, let's get it started then. Let's start with a younger back. Basically, I wanted to say young athlete because basically this position right now, you have to be young to be in this position and in the running back setting. But we talked about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Everyone's talked about him at some point being that flashy back that's going to explode on the fantasy world. Unfortunately, hasn't due to injuries. So I got to go to the doc. What is your percent to the bench on Clyde Edwards-Helaire going into this season?
Yeah, consider me part of Team Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I really want to see him have a breakout year. But if we just look at his first 2 seasons, he's played in 23 games. Last year in 10 games, he accounted for 500 yards. And while he had 4 TDs, he had 2 fumbles. Missed time last year with his ankle, the medial collateral ligament on the inside, his knee, his shoulder. He has yet, unfortunately, to demonstrate that he's capable of withstanding the challenges of a full NFL season. And looking at his first 2 years, we're going to go 85% of the bench this season, and then 50% chance of at least a 3-game stop on the IR.
Oh, so there's the IR pullout. Wow. We're going to have to play this one back if he does hit the IR for sure. All right, let's talk about a weapon that needed to be added, being that Tyreek Hill went to America's team, the Miami Dolphins. They needed a weapon, and they added one. Not a bad one indeed, coming from Green Bay, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I got all these hyphenated names I got to get through tonight. Let's talk about him. I know he unfortunately missed the last game of the playoffs for the Packers due to an injury. Let's talk about his percent to the bench going into this season.
Yeah, he only played 11 regular season games last year. He's had a 5-game trip to the IR with a hamstring strain earlier in the season. But if we look at his first 3 seasons, I think they were more representative of this player. He didn't miss a game over his first 3 seasons. And I would suggest that 1 trip to the IR in 4 years does not qualify him as fragile. He should not earn the nickname of Mr. Glass. So we're going with a 25% of the bench. I expect bigger things from him this season.
And no percent to the IR, I'm assuming, for him as well.
That's a 1-player statistic only.
Well, we're not done yet, so you never know. He might bring it up again. All right, Doc, we appreciate you. Thank you for being in KC. Also like to bring up, as far as Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Leroy Butler was on here talking about how much he averaged under Aaron Rodgers. So not a bad receiver for KC to add. Dr. Miller, appreciate you coming into the studio, my brother, and we will see you on our next stop.
See you tomorrow.
All right, see you. Sorry. It's all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got guests in the building. We've had Hall of Famers, we've had movers, we got Chiefs in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hit the promo, and we're going to bring in our guests. Let's get this thing started. I know. I'm ready. I'm fired up. I'm ready to run in through the building. All right. Well, unfortunately, Scott from Chiefs Kingdom Live is having some connectivity issues. So right now, we just have Brett Tavo into the building. Welcome into the studio, my brother.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. Always fun to talk some Chiefs. So let's roll.
Absolutely, Brett.
Hey, before we go, Commissioner, sorry to interrupt. We got to get one thing straight. Kansas City is in Missouri. The good part of it's in Missouri. Arrowhead Stadium is in Missouri. So, why you guys on the post always screw that up, man?
I thought everybody knew that.
No, apparently not.
There's two Kansas Cities.
Yeah, there is. There is a KCK too, but Arrowhead or Geehaw they call it now is on the Missouri side.
I deserve the dumbass award for that.
That's all right, man.
No, good job. Brett is actually a author of the 2021 KC Chiefs third down Chief offense. Let's talk about that just real quick before we begin. What inspired you to write that, Brett?
Well, I am. I've been a football coach for 17 years at the high school level, offensive coordinator the last 11, and I've decided on a career change. I'm kind of a couple different options I'm looking at. I'm going to finalize that in the next few weeks. But when I resigned in December, I was still finishing the year teaching, and they had given me a pretty good schedule. Because I was coaching, so I had about 3 or 4 hours a day where I had all this time. So I was just interested in at some point when I had the time of writing a book. So I decided that it was one thing that would kind of help keep me connected to the game a little bit. So being a Chiefs fan, it was natural for me to want to write about the Chiefs. Although I looked at some different things and I noticed that there were one of 5 teams since the year 2000 to convert over 50% of their third downs. So I just started looking at that and using NFL Game Pass. I diagrammed all 256 third down plays and then provided some context. And I've had a few people reach out to me and say, they feel like it was really well done in terms of explaining it, both on a level that a coach could benefit from and a general fan, so they could kind of see what was going on with that and they could reference that with NFL Game Pass. So it was a lot of work. It took me 150 plus hours to get done, but I enjoyed it and the feedback's been really good.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
We'll put up a link for you as well, so make sure you check that out. I believe it's available on Amazon, and you can plug wherever else you may find it as well for sure later on, as we'll talk about that again.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's get talking about the Chiefs. All right, so last year, 12-5. We know that they went. What a great playoff it was in general last year. Went to the wild card. We talked about this last week. Actually, demolished Pittsburgh, 42-21. Had one of the best games. A lot of people said it was the best playoff game ever against Buffalo in OT, 36-30. It was a phenomenal game. And then the conference championship. Against the Bengals, 27-24 in OT. Could have went, quite frankly, either way. Last year, offensively, third overall as far as yardage concerned, fourth over points scored, fourth in the passing yards and 16 in rushing yards. Defensively, 27th overall yardage-wise, 8th but for points against, which is pretty good, 27th in the pass, 21st versus the rush. Free agency, we talked about we've talked about, obviously, the departure of Tyreek Hill. He has unfortunately left the Chiefs, has gone, of course, to my team. You have brought in, though, Juju Smith, and you brought in Marquez Valdez-Scantling, hopefully to replace a little bit of that. Justin Reed, safety, was also brought in. There were some key points on defense that left as well. And you guys also went defense in the draft a lot also. Obviously, Sky Moore being the outlier to that, but went cornerback, safety, basically boosted that Chiefs secondary up. And I apologize, I have my notes and I dropped my book, so I don't have all the names in front of me. So my prediction for this season for the Chiefs, I go 10-7. I think you guys take a step back a little bit, only because everyone else in the AFC is taking a step up. There is going to be some offensive production loss from Tyreek Hill leaving. No bones about it. Juju, you can put in whoever you like. There's nobody that's going to replace the production Tyreek Hill does. So like I said, it's not a huge step back, but I just see a little step back. But as I said, always say, who cares what I think? That's why we brought experts in the building. Brett, give us your 2022 outlook for the Chiefs.
Well, I think it's going to be like you said. There's been some exits and some. I think they're going to be a little bit different football team. I think they're going to look to win a little bit and play a little bit more complementary football, run the ball a little bit more. They brought in Ronald Jones from Tampa Bay. They may try to get downhill a little bit more with the run game, gap schemes, inside zone, some of the things that he did with Tampa Bay. And the schedule is brutal. And I know a lot can change in the NFL. You can catch some breaks. They had Green Bay in that crossover game last year, and then that was the week Aaron Rodgers had COVID. So it wasn't as daunting as it looked in the spring when that game came on the schedule. So, but their crossover game is against Tampa Bay. They've got the NFC West as the NFC divisions they play, and then the AFC South. They got Tennessee and Indianapolis. So, and then as you mentioned, the AFC West. I mean, they just it seemed like every good player that was a free agent this year ended up or not even necessarily a free agent. I know there was a big trade for Russell Wilson. It seems like all of them, came to the AFC West. So I think they could legitimately be a better football team and a more complete football team and only win 10 or 11 games because the schedule is that brutal.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, taking a small step back in a conference that's all pretty much most teams have taken a step up. Again, not taking a huge loss, again, 12 wins last year. We're saying 10 wins. I mean, not a huge loss for them. But again, it's going to be tough sledding in this AFC. Justin, let's go to you, sir. Give me your outlook for the Chiefs this season.
So I'll just echo a few points that Brett said. Obviously, they might have a better overall team. I'm looking at probably about between 9 and 12 wins. And like he said, catching a couple breaks. You got to remember what this one team has over the rest of the AFC West. They're the best coached team out there. And that's where, catching breaks can really count. When, like Brett said, somebody is, unfortunately sick or they have an injury or, you have somebody who, is not really good with clock management. Like I'm looking at a Nathaniel Hackett, like a Josh McDaniels, guys that are coming back into the head coaching realm. And, they're not nearly as experienced as Andy Reid, who's been doing this for almost 30 years now, just crazy amount of experiences over there. And then you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And no matter what weapons you put around him, he's going to figure it out. Last year, he had the most attempts of his career and the shortest amount of yards per attempt. So he's slowly was figuring it out last year what this offense is kind of look like. I also think Brett hit it right on the head when he said this team is going to be more run-centric. I mean, I think that this team has built itself that way for the past 2 years. They got a huge bruiser out of Oklahoma in Creed Humphrey, who was one of the best run blocking centers in the league last year, if not the best. They also got Joe Thuney, who came from the Patriots system a couple years back, and they got Orlando Brown, who came from the Ravens system two run-heavy offenses. I think this line is really trying to revamp its way to being more of a well-balanced offense. Obviously, Kelsey's going to do well too. But I think this team realistically is between 9 and 12. I think 9 is really their floor. 12 could be like really realistic. I don't think they really get too much more after that because they are battling a lot of big teams this year.
Yeah, running the ball north and south, maybe eliminating the running around 10 yards backwards to make some type of play for Pat Mahomes, up beefing that lineup as well. Nick, what say you, my brethren, on the 2022 Chiefs?
Well, I guess I'm going to be an outlier, and I guess I'm going to be billed as overly optimistic because I think they go 13-4 this year. Now, they lost Hill, but from what I've been hearing, and it kind of makes sense, Mahomes has got to be a more versatile quarterback. So I think he's going to be actually a better quarterback because he didn't have to rely on just two receivers because you had Kelsey and you had Hill and then whoever the hell was open. So this year, I think Juju's going to have a big season because now he's playing with the quarterback that is in his prime. Nothing to say against Ben, but the past couple of seasons he has been in his prime. So, and then when they thought that Juju could be the man after AB left, he wasn't, which I kind of predicted that he wasn't going to be. But now that he's playing with Mahomes, now that he's under Andy Reid, and he's got Travis Kelce in there, I think he's going to be. They're going to manufacture Tyreek Hill numbers. Now, they have the number 5 offensive line coming into the season. So that's really going to help solidify the protection. It's going to give Patrick Mahomes time. It's going to give time for the receivers to make their cuts and get open. Now, the only drawback is you got the 18th ranked defense coming into the league. So the way to counterbalance that is to, like Coach, is to control the clock. So that's how they're going to establish the running game, eat the clock, control the game, and give the other team as less time with the ball as possible, especially your Buffaloes, your Tampa Bays, and your Las Vegases, and on and on. So I think they're gonna keep on humming. They're gonna run on all 8 cylinders, and I think they're gonna be 13-4. I do think, though, I am going to predict an upset on week 9, which I'll get into later. But 13-4 is my guess for Kansas City.
All right, let's get to the Jester. What say you, sir, on the Chiefs this year?
Man, I really like the Chiefs. I totally agree with Jay, the commissioner over here. I think they go 10-7, only because the first 6 games are a gauntlet, man. Cardinals, Chargers, Colts, Bucks, Raiders, Bills. I mean, if things go the wrong way, you're 0-6. But I split hairs. I think they're going to take 3-3. I do believe in Mahomes. I do believe he gets spread the ball out a lot better. So 10-7 is looking like a realistic number. I really want to see what Ronald Jones has to offer. I don't like Christian Hilaire. Hilaire Edwards. It's just I don't believe in him anymore. I think he's done. He gets hurt way too much. This is Ronald Jones' time to seize the moment, and that's the way I think they have to go. They got to run the ball a little bit more.
Yep, not the spicy pick anymore, to say the least. All right, Brett, let's go to you, sir. Tell me what game on the schedule's got you most pumped up.
Week 2, got the Chargers coming to town Thursday night, Arrowhead Stadium. And I think that sets the tone for the division. They of course have had a great offseason, getting Khalil Mack, and they're feeling pretty good about their chances in the division and knocking the Chiefs off. And I think that is a great time to set the tone. Obviously, the Chiefs still have to make that return trip to Los Angeles later on in the year. But if you drop that one at home to the Chargers, which they did last year, they had 4 turnovers in that game. It was a very early game, week 2 or 3, and you're digging yourself a hole that I'm not sure that you've got the ability to dig out of with the way the rest of the division is at this point. I think you gotta go at least 2-1 at home, probably 3-0 in the division, and I think it all starts on that Thursday night, September 15th.
Fred, we'll go start counterclockwise. What say you on the schedule? What's a game you were really excited for?
First game of the season, my favorite quarterbacks go against each other, Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes. That is an offensive fantasy football point fest.
Bonanza.
You know, bonanza. That's when the game we circle every time. Two great quarterbacks throwing the ball around the field. Still nice weather outside. Everybody's going to score. Can't wait to see the Cardinals and the Chiefs.
Nick, what say you, sir?
Oh wow, there's about 8 games that I'm excited for, but I'm gonna go with Week 4 at Tampa Bay, just because that's a Super Bowl that we all wish that we could see before Brady leaves. But that's gonna be a game of 2 offensive juggernauts, and one game that I was gonna discuss was Week 9 at home when the Titans come in. I think the Titans steal that game. Week 9.
An early upset special from Nick. Justin,
that's going to be a trap game because the following week you have Jacksonville. So I think that's going to be a trap game, and you're coming off the bye. So watch out for that game.
Nick, you know Andy Reid's record after a bye?
Not offhand.
It is. I don't know it offhand either, but it's like something really ridiculous. It's like I don't know how many years he's been a head coach. I think he's lost 3 games after the bye week. So you may be right. Yeah, but then Tennessee's good. I mean, they've got a good team. So
Justin, what say you, sir? What's a game you're excited for?
And Nick, they already had a Super Bowl between Tampa Bay and KC, by the way.
I want to see another one.
Mine's San Francisco. I'm a diehard 49er fan. There's still a sour taste in my mouth from that loss. And you know, here's another thing. Trey Lance is kind of being brought up the same way Patrick Mahomes is. I know you can't put the expectations of Patrick Mahomes on him, but it is kind of interesting that they both got brought up kind of the same way behind 2 already established bridge quarterbacks. So it's going to be interesting to see these 2 gunslingers go at it.
Indeed. You guys know I like the holidays. I'm going to go a New Year's Day. How about the Broncos coming into Arrowhead Stadium? You can talk about playoff implications, a tough AFC West. Russell Wilson coming into town, into Arrowhead Stadium on New Year's Day after we're chilling. After recovering from the night prior. Absolutely excited for that one. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll
18-3.
18-3. He nailed it. Actually, Brad nailed it. Only 3 losses. So 21 years he's been in the league.
Yeah, that's pretty uncanny.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to play Fantasy Feud Chiefs Edition. I'm not going to let my co-host know who else is going to play, but one of them will be going against Brett for Chiefs glory. We'll be right back.
Hayden, we love fantasy football. We do? It's a fantastic game, yet still not perfect. Like, I hate leaving high-scoring players on my bench.
The worst, man.
In fact, hate it even more when I put injured players and they're in my starting lineup.
Can't have that.
And I need a life. The waivers, the trades, every single week, it grinds on me. So we at Underdog Fantasy want to make fantasy football easier for everyone out there. It's called Best Ball, and we set your optimal lineup for you each and every week. You can do it all year long. We have drafts going all the way from February to week 1 of the NFL season. What are you waiting for? Use our awesome early sign-up offer to get a little extra something on that first deposit and that first time you play on Underdog Fantasy.
You put them up, reach the sky, touch the stars up above, cause it's one time for the underdog, one time for the underdog.
All right, Freddie already knows it's going to be him. I mean, we've been working all summer.
Hey, I want to tell you something.
We've worked all summer long.
I've been to Kansas City. I've eaten at Arthur Bryant's. I've been out there, so I'm gonna do this.
So you're ready. Tonight.
Yeah.
All right. At least you're better than me. You know, it's not in Kansas.
That's right. Getting a geography lesson tonight.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Brett, so I know you haven't played Fantasy Feud. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy buzzer. But what I'm going to do is basically I'll say the question. You'll shout out the answer once you know it. And if you get the answer, you control the round. You'll have it'll be five answers. You'll have 3 X's, essentially, just like Family Feud, to close out the round. If you don't close it out, then Fred will get a chance to close out and win the round. That's pretty much how it rolls. Just like Fantasy Feud rolls, pretty much. Same thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, here we go. If you're ready. Fred, are you ready, bro? That's all I want to know.
Let's roll. I'm ready.
Let's roll.
I can't wait. All right. It's time to play the feud.
Brad?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. It's going to be a long game.
I don't think it's going to be a long game tonight. This might be what they call a clean sweep. Let's see. We got top 5 answers on the board. Here's our first question. Give me in Chiefs all-time history top rushing TD leaders of all time.
Christian Okoye.
Priest Holmes.
Christian Okoye is on this list by the skin of your skinny tin. I can't even say it. Chinny chin chin. Your Christian Okoye is number 5 on this list with 40. So you got control of the round. Go right ahead, Fred.
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson's number 2 with 55. Who else you got?
Oh, snaps. This is where it gets hard. I know it's coming, damn it. X me, man. Just X me.
I mean, he couldn't even think of nobody. All right, come on, bro. Quit looking at your phone. I see you
No, I'm
now.
not looking at my phone. Look.
You're looking at nothing. Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Good thing you didn't hear Brett.
Yeah. I was a little late on that. I don't know if I was delayed or what.
I missed something.
I said who I guarantee he's number 1.
Oh shit, man. He knows number 1. All right. Okoye, I don't know. I have no idea. I only very know 2 or 3. Was it before Hilaire? What came before Hilaire?
You knew like the unusual ones too. Like the other 2 are like well known.
I can't even believe it. I'm surprised you're missing these. I laid this up for you because I figured you know some of these at least.
I got 2 of them. 2 out of 5. That's 40%.
Well, I guess like I said, that's not bad. But
all right, what is it? Okay, go ahead, X me. I want to know what you got.
Oh
Who
my
was it?
God, he's getting those in.
Oh, hell no!
I hate that guy.
We already know he's got the number 1. You got anybody else on the list, Brett, other than the number 1? You've already won because you've already said it, so we'll give you that one. But is anyone else on this list you might think you might know?
Oh, man.
So he's got Larry Johnson and he got Christian Okoye. So you got that was number 2 and number 5 on the list. Left, you have number 1. You already named that. That was Priest Holmes with 76.
Priest Holmes.
He already said that. But you got 3 and 4 is still available. Just want to see if you can snag that.
I'm gonna say Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen.
I forgot he even played over there.
Snag DeMarcus Allen.
Yeah,
At number 3, he's 44. And the number 4 running back, Jamal Charles with 40.
Jamal Charles.
I know. That was somebody who used to always draft, too.
I don't know how I missed Jamal Charles. What a great player he was. He was on some bad teams, but man, he was a stud.
Indeed. All right. Well, Brett's got control 1-0. Let's go into round number 2. This always seems to even the odds up no matter how big of a fan you are. Let's see if you know this stuff. It's always hard. Top 5 answers on the board. Here's your question. In all Chiefs history, opponent-wise, give me the top teams you have the best winning percentage against.
The Chargers.
The San Diego, LA Superchargers.
Let's go with the Texans.
The Texans. Oh, he's been following along, but you're wrong.
Is there any? It's just any teams. There's no minimum games here, huh? Any team?
None. Yeah, no minimum.
Seattle.
The Seattle Seahawks, who's also been on a lot of lists. Not this one.
Okay, you're right. Let's go with the Jaguars.
The Jaguar. He has been paying attention, but you're still right. Brett? I think we're down to like 28 teams to go.
Yeah. Let's go with the Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons.
The dart has landed.
The Atlanta Falcons are on this list. They are number 4. You guys, the Chiefs are 7-3 all time against the Falcons. Brett, you got control. What else you got?
This is buzzing your tower a little bit here, and this is not intentional. Let's go with the Miami Dolphins.
The America's team, the Miami Dolphins. I've never wanted to hit this more in my life. No, sir, not on that one. All right, you got one strike left, and you got a lot of meat on this bone, sir.
Yeah. I mean, just because recently they really own. Let's go with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.
Fred, you got a lot of meat here. Can you eat? That's the question.
Oh, you can eat.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna stay with the same division as the Falcons. I've been doing this shit lately. I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
The 49ers.
They're not in the division anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, listen, we've had so many follies tonight. I mean, you might as well have said that. All right, so here is the list. Number 1, the Commanders. You guys are 10-1 all time.
Wow.
Against the football team. Number 2, the Cardinals. 9-3-1 all time against the Cardinals. Number 3 on this list, the Panthers. 5-2 all time. And number 5, believe it or not, Green Bay Packers. You guys are 8-4-1 all time against Green Bay.
It's 5 NFC teams.
If you
NFC teams,
all 5. That's wild.
If you don't know, now you know. Hey, listen, Brett's up 2-0. I told you it might be a clean sweep. We're going to see. There we go. Round 3. Let's see. This is it. Chester, you got to make it up here. If not, it's over. All right, we're going to go opposite end of the spectrum from the last question. Give me all-time Chiefs history, opponent-wise, the teams you have the worst winning percentage against.
The Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
Let's go with the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. And it begins.
Yep.
Only 30 teams left to go. This is going to be a long game.
Yeah, it is. Let's go with the Titans/Oilers.
The Tennessee Titans.
Let's go with the Patriots.
That's a good guess, but wrong.
Okay, let's think.
I'm going to go with the Giants.
The New York Giants. The Giants are number 1 on this list. You guys are 4-11 all time against the New York Giants.
Yep. There's been some really bad Giants teams beat some good Chiefs teams. I have remembered that.
You got a lot more meat to go on this bone to go. Let's see what else do you got.
Let's go with the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys. Cowboys are number 4 on this list. You guys are 5-7 all time against the Cowboys.
All right. Let's go with the Raiders. I think the Chiefs are somewhere around 500 against the Raiders. So
really, the Raiders are calling him, but it's not for the right reasons.
Okay,
he should let that ring.
All right, so you got 1 and 4 on this list. You got 2, 3, and 5, and you got 1 strike left.
All right. How about the Rams?
The LA Rams.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, Fred.
All right.
You got some meat. Can you
All right.
eat?
Let me talk this out. So there's one team we didn't say in the NFC East yet. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking here. It's going to be one of them Pennsylvania teams. So I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia.
They had some good teams prior. Yeah.
Yo, listen, the blood was in the water. You were close. If you would have went the other way, you would have got number 2. The Steelers are number 2 on this list, 12-22 all time against the Steelers. Number 3, the Colts, 9-13 against the Colts. And number 5 on this list, the Buffalo Bills, 21-25-1 all time against the Buffalo Bills. If you don't know, now you know. And
I said Pennsylvania.
And you did. You were close. Like I said, you were in the right water there. You were getting there. You were close.
At least you had the state right.
Right, exactly. Hey, at least you didn't do that one. Hey,
right church, wrong pew.
Brett's our winner tonight. Congratulations to Brett.
Thank you.
And I think we already knew. I think once this game started, we knew who was hitting this award. But let's just give it to him anyway. To our jester, our loser tonight. Congrats to you too, sir.
Dumbass. Thank these. They call me dumbass. Stupid.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Yes, sir. Nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're a fantasy show, and we're going to talk about fantasy rankings. We'll be right
Let's
back.
go.
Hey everyone, it's Commissioner Cooper from TSS Fantasy. Want to give your own fantasy league that extra professional touch? Say less, we got you. TSS was based off a show that we did on our own fantasy league.
Night, sorry, and now possible grateful. You're on your way.
Now we want to bring that professional, fun, and creative side to your fantasy league. And you can do it for as low as $5 extra per owner.
Oh my.
I will guarantee it will increase your interactions within the league, create more fun, friendly banter, and give your league that extra real-life feel that you didn't know it needed. We look forward to interacting with you and your league soon. Don't forget TSSFantasy.com. Go visit it today. Get signed up. We are the fantasy show of the people.
Check that out, TSSFantasy.com. Take your fantasy league to the next level. All right, well, it's fantasy time. Fantasy rankings. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, we're going to start with Pat Mahomes, the easy way to start. I mean, QB number 4 last year. Listen, you can't go wrong with Pat Mahomes as the QB, bottom line, period, no matter where you pick him up. Yes, I said earlier the Tyreek Hill loss is going to hurt him, no doubt about it. But, again, they've put in enough pieces. You still got Travis Kelce. Justin brought it up earlier, best coach team in the AFC West. So I got him this year at QB5. Not much of a drop at all. What do you say, Justin, for Pat Mahomes?
I say QB3, and I think rightfully that's where he should be. As far as high-powered offenses, he's just behind Josh Allen. He's just behind Justin Herbert. He's got a plethora of options. I already talked about how his yards per attempt was already down, so he's going to be throwing in a ton in the slot to Juju. His safety valve is Kelce. His over-the-top is Valdez-Scantling. He's just got a plethora of weapons. Hopefully Hardman comes on as well. I think it's business as usual for Mahomes. He's just going to get it done with more people this time.
Yeah, maybe, like I said, we talked about earlier, maybe that more methodical approach versus the gunslinger approach could actually produce more in fantasy points and yardage for him. We'll see. All right, Nick, what say you, sir, on Pat Mahomes? Where you got him?
Patrick Mahomes, I have him matching his number. I have him in the number 15 slot. I think he's really going to drop off. I think he's going to get injured. No, I have him at number 4 this year. Between him, Allen, Herbert, and Burrow, I mean, at this point, you're really splitting hairs. I mean, they're all going to be close. I don't think there's going to be any. It's going to really outstretch the other one. I think statistically, I think he's going to drop a little bit. But at the same time, think abstractly, I think he's going to be more of a complete quarterback because he's got to use all of his weapons equally. So his numbers, might drop a little bit, but I think he'll be a better quarterback coming out the other side of it. Statistically, I just have him number 4. I don't really have any positive data to support that.
Fred, where do you got Pat this year?
I got him at number 2. I'm always thinking highly of Patrick Mahomes. I think the only quarterback this year that outperforms him will probably be Justin Herbert. But the reason why I'm going with number 2 is I'm just looking at his schedule. I mean, he's playing teams that just throw the ball around just like he does. The Chargers twice, Burrow at Cincinnati. You got the Bills. You got the Raiders twice. You got the Broncos twice with their new quarterback. Then you got some weak teams out there like the Jags, Houston, a down Seattle team. So I think this is going to be a really fun year for Kansas City. Like I said, they're going to take a 2-game loss step backwards, but I think they're going to still fling the ball around. I mean, I believe in Ronald Jones. Yes, he's gonna help them a little bit, but Mahomes is going to have to do what Mahomes is going to do with his feet and with his arm.
I think it's a great point, Fred. Actually, I'm scanning over their schedule. I mean, they're going to have to be putting points up for a lot of these teams. And then, as you alluded to, there's a lot of cupcakes on that schedule too. So you have a few of those games where you're like, all right, well, it's easy money. Pat Mahomes going to have a great day today.
More shootouts equals points.
Right, exactly. Either way, points are points are points. So, yep, good. Wow, I can't believe Fred brought a good analysis tonight. Fred, what say you, sir, on Pat Mahomes? Where you got him at?
It's hard to put a definite on it. I would say, and it's been mentioned by a couple of people, I think number one would definitely be Josh Allen at this point, just because the Bills and their usage of him and design quarterback run, the quarterback run game, he's able to pick up, 400 or 500 yards a year and a handful of touchdowns. So that's kind of a negative, that they will not run Mahomes. He blew out his knee on a quarterback sneak a couple of years, not blew it out, but bruised knee cap or something in a game in Denver, and now they motion in a tight end, Blake Bell, to run quarterback sneak. So they will not run him, which kind of hurts his points a little bit. But they also, there's so many shovel passes and things like that in short yardage situations that she like to do. To Kelsey and different players like that, they count as 6 points in the fantasy world. So I would put him anywhere from 2 to 6, all depending on a lot of variables, because I think he's just that good. He's gonna put up his numbers. He's gonna throw, like he's gonna have 50 plus touchdowns, and they're gonna be in some shootouts this year as like somebody had already alluded to. So I think it's going to have a very solid year and round up anywhere from 2 to 6 when it's all said. So if you're going to make me put a number on it, let's say he's going to end up number 4. I'll split the difference there.
Yeah, I think we're all about in the same realm anyway. Obviously, a top.
Well, I'm right here, sir. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, you're good though. We're following along. We got you. Yeah. So again, we're all kind of splitting hairs here between 2 and 6. He's good to go. Either way, he's obviously somebody you're going to want to have starting your lineup. Fred, good point with the schedule though. It's a good look. All right, let's talk about the running game. Going to these RBs. Last year, the leader fantasy-wise was Darrell Williams. He was the 22nd running back overall last year. He's not even signed right now. So right now, leading the pack, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He was number 38 last year, but that was over 10 games. So obviously, we talked about that with the doc earlier. A little bit of injury woes. Ronald Jones last year, same. 58 though. He was on the Bucs, obviously, so a totally different offense, so a different look there. So again, this year, I don't know where to really put Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We always keep talking about, hey, this is going to be that year for him, and it just hasn't happened yet. And, like I always talk about, you got to be consistent for me to get on my fantasy radar. So right now, I have him 31st. He's improved from last year, but not a whole lot, because I don't know how much Ronald Jones is going to eat into those carries, eat into that yardage. So I have him actually 41st overall, because I do see him eating into that production a little bit. Let's go to Justin. We'll go to you, sir. What say you on the KC running backs?
Yeah, so like you said, Darrell Williams is in Arizona now. So he took 63% of his goal line work with him there, which opens up a lot of the field for either Edwards-Helaire or a Ronald Jones to step in. I think that'll mostly be a Ronald Jones type of role. He's more the bruiser type of back. One thing that I want to talk about, I want to throw out a shout out to the fantasy footballers who threw out a study that they did about most vacated targets and where that goes, since we were talking about 150 plus vacated targets with Tyreek Hill leaving, they say that a lot of those actually, the research they did goes to the running back. So that could be a good PPR year for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We all know Rojo has never been a PPR type of back. He's just mostly a solid run pushing guy. Third down comes in because he's good at pass blocking as well. So I think that there's a chance both these guys could have a decent season. Now, as of right now, I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire at running back 30. Touchdowns are key in fantasy football, especially for the running back position. So, he had 9% of the goal line carries last year. That's not going to cut it. He needs to, establish that he is the guy. And I think that they've decided that, they need some competition in there when they brought in Ronald Jones, who had 20%, even though he was in the doghouse for a lot of last year with Bruce Arians. So it's going to be up and down. Rojo, I think right now is draftable, but I have him about like 45. I wouldn't go seeking him, but if you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's a good guy to handcuff to him for sure.
Yeah, definite handcuff, say at least. Nick, what say you, sir?
Okay, right now, I'm going to piggyback a lot of what Cooper and Justin said, because there's really not a whole lot to go around. It's a 2-horse race right now. You got Helaire. I think he's going to be supplanted as a starter in there until Rojo gets his legs under him, gets know the offense at full speed. So I have Helaire at 26 right now. He's a low-grade starter at this point. So if you're going to draft him, you could probably get him in the 3rd round, mid to late 3rd, and then on a waiver or maybe a sleeper, pull up Ronald Jones. I have him at number 41 right now.
All right, Fred, what say you, sir, on the running backs?
I have to say this is a terrible running back core. I'm going mid-30s to 40, only because I just went the other way and said how much Mahomes is going to have to do against these high-powered offenses. I can't see them start running the ball as much. Maybe on short goal line stance, but I just can't see myself drafting a Kansas City running back. Maybe 35, maybe 4th or 5th round. There's no way. I think it's going to be the big year is we'll talk about a little bit. It's going to be Kelsey. So I will stay away from all Kansas City running back. No faith.
All right, Brett, what say you on the running backs?
Yeah, man, I'm just going to parrot what you said there because, watching this team every week and studying their offense, it's just such a wild card. Andy Reid is a big hot hand guy. And at the end of the year last year, Jerick McKinnon was the guy getting all the reps, and he played really well, and they re-signed him to a 1-year deal just recently in the last few weeks. So you just never know, and they're so situational with how they use them. I will say that I think all of them have value if you get them on the right week, and it's a PPR league, just because they utilize the running back so much. They free released the back, and Mahomes really got good towards the end of last year, getting it to the running back in space and letting them, do a little something with the ball instead of trying to hold on to it, get something downfield. So, yeah, I would stay away from all of them unless it's the later rounds or you get them very cheap.
It could be a good.
That's the world of Andy Reid running backs.
Yeah, it could be a good bye-week filler for your teams, too. So definitely want to make sure you monitor the Chiefs situation, obviously, for running backs. Let's go to the receivers. So obviously, Tyreek Hill going to America's team, the Miami Dolphins. He was number 7th last year overall for the Chiefs. Now, again, we talked about it earlier, replacing it with Juju Smith last year. Only played 5 games, was 139th ranked fantasy receiver. Mecole Hardman also. We got the rookie Sky Moore, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He was 73rd last year in 11 games last year. So honestly, like a few of these teams that we've talked about, I'm not sure who's the guy that's going to step up. Could it be Juju? You guys have talked about Juju a lot, getting a lot of stuff in the slot. Could it be the rookie Sky Moore? Could he get some, great rapport with Mahomes as he's coming in? I don't know, to be honest. So none of these guys I really have on any of my radars right now. It's kind of like a wait and see for me, quite frankly. That's just, for me anyway. Again, consistency being the key. Justin, what say you on the receivers?
So I think it's an up year for Juju. His best season ever was in 2018 when he had 166 targets, 111 catches. Currently, Tyreek Hill has 159 vacated targets. Now, I don't think they're all going to go to him. I think that's going to be spread out throughout the offense. But I think that a lot of the offense is going to flow through Juju and Kelsey this year. I think they're going to try and set it up to where they can kind of work those guys in the short and the slot and kind of just move the chains with those guys and kind of take off the top with Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Sky Moore will obviously work his way into the lineup. Haven't heard too much from him in the camp. Maybe Brett can kind of shine some light onto that, what's been going on there. But as of right now, I have a lot of faith that Juju is going to have a big year, especially in the PPR realm. So for PPR, I have him at about wide receiver 20. And then for a standard, it's just because he's never done double-digit touchdowns. I have him just outside the top 24 at wide receiver 25.
Nick, anyone in this receiving core that you like?
Well, Juju is a wild card because, as Justin said, his best season was 2018, and that's the last season that he had AB with him. So that was the last season that he was the number 2 guy. But his last best season he had for touchdowns was 2020. He had 9. So right now I'm looking at Kelsey. I mean, it's Kelsey, and then your number 2 guy is going to be Juju, and number 3 is going to be MVS. Now, to me, he's a hit. I mean, he's either a home run or a strikeout. So he's either going to get a deep ball or nothing. I bet you're happy that you lost Byron Pringle because, this offseason hasn't been good for him. But as far as on-the-field production, it's going to be those top 3. And Hardman, man, he is hit or miss. 1 week he's really hot, and then you don't see him for like 3 or 4 weeks. So right now, as far as the rankings go, they're all in the low 40s, low 40s, high 50s.
Fred, anyone on this receiving core you like, sir?
I do like Scantling. I think with Kelsey taking that middle of the field, big body, and they're going to be double teaming him because he is number 1. I think Scantling gets open a lot more. I don't think he's that low. I say maybe 25 to 30. I would take him. I don't have a problem because he's playing with Mahomes. So if they're going to throw it deep, even if he gets 3 or 4 balls a game and gets 80 to 100 yards and a touchdown, still a lot of points for me. So I'll definitely take Scantling.
Yeah, someone has to make up for that deep ball production. Maybe he is that guy. You never know. Brett, what say you, sir? Is there someone in this receiving core you like, or a couple of guys you like?
I do like Juju and MVS. I think coming and MVS was playing with a really good quarterback, so it's pretty it's easy to see what his game I think is going to translate to. But Juju, I think his game was so limited by Roethlisberger's deficiencies and in the offensive line in Pittsburgh. I think he's going to break out a little bit. But coverage dictates so much of the targets for these receivers. So a lot of it's going to depend on how they're getting played week to week. And Justin, you referenced, the intermediate game in the slot and things like that. And so, like I said, I think a lot of it's just going to depend on what the defense is looking to take away, and that's who's going to break out. It's just kind of how the offense is. But I do like Juju and MVS to have productive years. 9 to 11 touchdowns for each of them, 900 plus yards.
All right, I'm going to make this last part easy. Travis Kelce, number 2 tight end last year, number 1 for me this year. I don't see anything. I don't even know why you would need analysis for this. One of the biggest targets all the time, and now take away one of the biggest receiving threats there. Obviously, to me, it just means more target for him. So, again, Travis Kelce, easy number 1 overall tight end this year. Justin, what say you, sir?
Number 2. And I'll tell you why. He's going to have everything he needs, but at the end of the day, when you're the top guy out there and you don't have anybody who's a major threat on the outside, people are going to learn to just double team the hell out of you, maybe even triple team if they have even less respect for Valdez-Scantling out there. So when I look at this, I'm going to go, all right, he's going to get the targets for sure. He's going to get the yards for sure. Is he going to get the touchdowns for sure? That's where I question it. That's why he's my number 2, which is still freaking awesome. But that's why I question whether he's going to be able to sustain that number 1 status he's had for so many years.
Tomato, 1 or 2, yeah, you're hit around the head. And, I would say, it's a great point that, with Hill not there, obviously they're going to key up on him. But I would just venture also to say they could put probably 5 people on the sky. I don't think it even matters sometimes, you know what I mean? Nick, what say you, sir?
Justin, I love your analysis. I respect your opinion, but your opinion is wrong. Kelsey is number 1. Like I said, you're splitting hairs. I mean, you're splitting hairs. I have Andrews number 2. I have Waller at 4. I'd be happy with all 3 of them. I do have Pitts at 3, and that's just because of name and what he can do. But again, I have Kelsey at number 1.
Fred, I already know because you just like Mahomes. Kelsey is somebody you always used to draft too.
Listen, I still think it's gonna be Kelsey, but it's not gonna be that close. I think he's gonna have a few hundred yards more than the next tight end and a few more touchdowns. I mean, he's in the Mark Andrews situation. I mean, it's better because Andrews got absolutely nobody that can catch the ball over there. So I really think Kelsey's gonna have a super big year, maybe a record-setting year.
Well, then you kind of contradicted your point. That's why Andrews is going to be kind of close.
No, Andrews, because you still got Scantling and Juju on the outside. Baltimore they could put 3 people on Andrews. Kelsey is still going to get his. No, I think he's going to have a record-setting year.
Brett, what say you, my friend? What do you say you about Travis?
Yeah, I keep the last couple of years I've been waiting for his game to slip a little bit and teams to kind of figure it out. And every week he's just putting up, he's getting anywhere from 8 to 12 catches, 120 yards and 1 or 2 touchdowns. And watching every third down clip last year, probably 10 times each, teams just absolutely beat the hell out of him at the line of scrimmage. They put a nickel or a safety over him. Sometimes it would be a linebacker and they would jam him at the line and he'd have to fight through that and he would get open. He's just so good at that. And the offense is so good. The coaching staff and Mahomes are so good at getting him involved, even when things are hard. I can't, in good conscience, pick anybody else to be more productive than him at tight end. I mean, it's just he's that good.
He is that good. He's always been that good. And like you said, he's kind of like that Tom Brady where you're expecting it to at some point lose a little bit. But, man, it's just, like you said, every year, money when it matters all day long. Speaking of money when it matters, tonight, Brett, you were money when it matters. We brought in we needed a great KC representative, and we sure got it tonight. Brett, let everyone know where we can find your great stuff, subscribe to it. Mentioned the book earlier, where we can go get our copy of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on Amazon. You go to Amazon and type in 2021 Kansas City Chiefs third down offense. In the book section, and then Unpacking Greatness is the kind of the subtitle there. It's there. It's I think it's $8.99 on Kindle. I dropped the price of $14.99 paperback. Even if you're not a Chiefs fan, I think it's a good book to really on an intro level look at some of the different schemes. Andy Reid has a West Coast offense background with San Francisco, Mike Holmgren in Green Bay, and then he's really molded that offense and blended a lot of the newer air raid concepts and he just does a really good job week to week of keeping their base concepts and then building on those throughout the year to hide tendencies. So I think it's a really good book for any just general football fan that kind of wants to look and learn a little bit more about the game. So yeah, that's on Amazon there. Easy to find. On Twitter, it's just I'm at Brett Tavo. Give me a follow. The link to the book is in my profile. And I enjoyed this, guys. I love talking Chiefs football and any football. So anytime you guys want to have me back on, I'm there. So thank you.
Well, Coach Brett, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being on. Appreciate you sharing the book with us as well. We'll definitely get everyone out there. Like I said, it's a good read either way. Even if you aren't a Chiefs fan, if you like football, learn a little bit more about the game, go check out his book today on Amazon, anywhere. And again, follow him on Twitter. The link will be there as well. We are out for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving on to, we're back to LA next. On Wednesday, we're going to visit the Superchargers. We got some great guests lined up for that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit subscribe. You could win a Leroy Butler jersey. We appreciate you guys, and we are out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
We're on a mission,
Right. That's because you have Mike.
We're on a mission, We're on a mission,
Put on your life vest, let's drop anchor. Put on your life vest, let's drop anchor. Put on your life vest, let's drop anchor. Put on your life vest, let's drop anchor.
We're on a mission,
I just gotta take some notes.